Welcome to the Entrepreneurship Networking Program. Your host, Mwila Jonathan Puku, and tonight we'll be talking about creating business opportunities for now and the future. And we're joined, but to help us with this topic, we're joined by Honorable Elias, Engineer Elias Mubanga, Cabinet Minister and Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you, Mwila. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm very okay.
Very good.
Before we can go, we just want to apologize to our viewers for actually starting the program late, but we will actually wind up. Minister, just before we can actually go very far, obviously the ministry has been established for the last 2 years, and obviously we just want to know maybe a few, and obviously we know there should be some successes that the ministry has done, but maybe you can name maybe prominent ones, maybe 5 of them, because I know there are many. Yeah. So maybe you can just help us with some of the successes that the ministry has done over the 2 years that it has been in government.
Okay. It's good to be here, and I want to appreciate this opportunity by CBC for me to come and feature, on this program and chat with our viewers throughout this country. Yes, I'm in charge of the small and medium businesses in the country, what you'd call entrepreneurship, and this is why the ministry was created, was to foster, the development of small and medium businesses, SMEs. Yes. And before, this sector was not emphasized. Yeah, but when the new Dawn UPND government came into office, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, decided to, create a ministry that would specifically tackle the issues of entrepreneurship, the issues of small and medium businesses, which is, the biggest space in terms of businesses. In this country. SMEs occupy 97% of all total businesses. When you put all businesses together in this country, we are actually 97%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, which simply means it's a very critical sector. It's a sector that as we emphasize it and as we look into other, regulatory issues, it will thrive, the economy. It will add fuel to the growth of this economy. Yeah, so when the ministry was definitely created, we had to quickly look into how we should set up the ministry. We came up with the departments, and I want to single out one department, which is where probably I will want to focus my discussion today. We do have the Department of SME, specifically Department for SMEs. SMEs can go and is headed by a director. And we also have business development. We also have, the Department of Cooperatives, because cooperatives are also SMEs. Okay. So we do have that department, and the one that is doing the registration of SMEs and of course regulations, that's another department. Okay. And these others which are more like, the common ones, HR and accounts and things like that. But these 4 are quite critical in the ministry. Okay. And where successes are concerned, the Department of Business Development, this is where the empowerment programs are also attached.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in this case, when we came into office and when the ministry has now been established, we've developed, programs. And before maybe I go further, the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission is also sitting under this portfolio in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise. And the Department of Business Development, that is the department which is attached to Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. So whenever we talking about empowerment as a ministry, we go through the Department of Business Development, headed by a director there. So, successes. First and foremost, the policy is actually almost done, meaning it's already circulated with the line ministries, and in the next cabinet meeting, I'll be able to present it for approval. Then I'll be able now to announce to the public that these are the guidelines now of the SME sector in this country. That's one. Number two, we have got the empowerment programs, because this ministry also, this is where we need to look at how we can help the growth of small and medium businesses. What factors, parameters that would make this sector to thrive. So through the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, we developed products. For example, the most pronounced one, and the one which is mostly known, is the Marketeer Booster Loan. The Marketeer Booster Loan. We looked at the micro businesses, people in the markets, because we also wanted to look at those who are already established. And there we've got a lot of, entrepreneurs throughout the country who are in the markets. And they are almost, 3 million traders in markets countrywide. So we said, can we look into the marketplace and see how we can help and empower our people?
But then, just on that point, are you creating a visibility, knowing that there are about 116 districts? And obviously, the Marketeers Booster Loan is actually across the nation. So how is the ministry actually creating visibility actually to reach its people in this number of districts?
So basically, I said Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission sits under the Ministry of SME. And we do have provincial offices in each and every 10 provinces. The Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, and then the ministry through the Department of Cooperatives. We have entrepreneurship stroke cooperative officers in each and every district. And these are the officers who are working in conjunction with the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission for identification of our SMEs who are in the markets. And any other will talk about it. I just singled out because you talked about the successes that we've done. So I had to single out the Marketeer Booster Loan. And I'm sure you must have seen that even me, I've been all over this country to try and see with my own eyes that our micro businesses are being supported by this government. By giving them startups, giving them some capital, smaller ones, and this capital is interest free. Within 6 months. So that's what we've done. But I must also say that within the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, we've also established or developed products where if our small and medium businesses, those with contracts, those with the orders, they don't have capital, we would want them to come. They've been applying to CEC, and they've been assisted with what we call trade finance, to finance the orders and contracts. These are short-term programs. So apart from that, we do have a college just here in Bowlen there, under the Department of Cooperatives, that's the Cooperative College.
Okay.
Yeah, when we came into office as New Dawn government, we looked at the college to be very strategic, and cooperatives, we pronounced that people need to form up cooperatives, citizens need to form up cooperatives, working as a team so that many people can benefit. So we had to increase the funding to the college so that they can take programs like, capacity building to try and help cooperatives understand how to run these cooperatives.
Okay.
So the cooperative college, they because of the increased funding by this government, they managed to get some assets, movable assets. For example, motor vehicles. So, and then they came up with a program of reaching out to the rural areas. The cooperatives were into rural areas, and they do they came up with what they call a mobile clinic, meaning they need to move where they are needed as a college to go and give capacity and skills to our cooperatives.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is under this New Dawn UPND government.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just picked up too. You talked about interest-free and the CEC, what it's actually doing, giving out loans and actually empowering a lot of businesses out there, SMEs, and also spoke about cooperatives. So I'll pick up too. In the past, people have been complaining that probably the CEC, the collection of the revenue, the collection of the funds that have actually been disbursed has been very, very poor from the past years. How has the ministry come in to actually ensure that there is some security and the government is able to recover, not even with interest, but also recover their capital which have actually was given to them?
So basically, when we came into offices as UPND government, the institution which is Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission was politicized. Okay. Citizens were accessing funds. It was basically those that were aligned with the political party, and by that time the ruling party. So when we came into there, we had to look at how we need to bring in some reforms. We needed to, change the setup. We needed to bring in new people in there so that the institution would really focus on its mandate, because its mandate is to empower every Zambian. So now, because of that, when there is inclination in terms of political, at times people don't pay much attention, and that's why this ministry was created. So I personally had to move in and say we need to recover the loans.
Okay.
And at one point we had to publish the names of defaulters.
Okay.
Now, because of that message we sent publicly, people started responding. They started coming to us, even to my office and to the office of the permanent secretary, to try and see if they can reschedule or arrange how they can pay back the fund. And we had to give some of the entrepreneurs who borrowed money from Citizen Economic Empowerment a second chance for them to come up with how they can pay these funds. Now, because of that reform, because of how we went in and changed a number of things, we saw improvement in repaying back the loans.
Okay.
We found it at about collection of loan or paying back. It was about 20 to 30%. But now they've actually moved to about 60 to 65%.
Okay.
So there's an improvement. Because this is government's money, and we've emphasized to anyone who has, gotten the empowerment fund, these are loans, but very, very soft loans.
Okay.
The interest rate when you get fund from Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, apart from the Marketeer Booster Loan, it's only 12%. Trade financing, 12%. And these other, products which has been developed, it's only, 12%.
Okay. Just quickly, Honorable, just on the part of cooperatives and also financing, many business out there, there is limited companies, sole proprietor, partnerships, they feel that there's been a biasness to the cooperatives. So they feel that maybe their concerns are not heard. If they're not a cooperative, they're not going to be funded. What's your view on that? Maybe quickly you can just highlight on that part.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying there is a department for cooperatives. Okay. And that department also has been going around to teach our people who are into cooperatives what is the meaning of a cooperative. And I think I need to clear it today. Cooperatives, it's a group of people with one common interest. And that interest is probably to run a business, is to get into a certain venture. But the members for that cooperatives, they must contribute. That's number one. That is the model of cooperative. You contribute, you put money together. If you are 50 or you are 100, and probably you want to, to start rearing chickens, or you want to run a shop, you look at how much do you need. Then you share now as a group and say, okay, we are looking, for example, 20,000 kwacha for us to venture into this, business. I'm talking about cooperatives, eh? Yes. Then they'll say, okay, how much are we going to pay for us to raise the 20,000 we are looking for? Each member has to contribute to get to that capital. That is the model of cooperatives. Okay. It has been misunderstood. Yes, it has been misunderstood that when you form a cooperative, now you must run it to the Ministry of SME to go and get a startup capital. That is not the way it's supposed to be. But because we are a very small economy, we just bringing up this economy, growing up this economy, making sure that that the citizens participate in growth of this economy. We are also extending some empowerment fund to cooperatives. We will look at what they want to do. Okay. We will look at how much money do they have and the shortfall. Then as government, the Ministry of SME will, through either the CEC or any other ventures in terms of resource mobilization, would try and help the cooperatives. So cooperatives must hear and must understand. When you form up a cooperative, you must have that in mind, that we need to contribute. That is the model of cooperatives. Okay,
perfect. Now, there are those cooperatives that are, let's say, maybe small-scale farmers. And obviously with cooperatives, they need capacity. And we've also noticed that we've got chain stores out there. ShopRite, we've got PKP, and many other chain stores. But then ours is a ministry helping them to actually build capacity for those small farmers so that their produce can be extended to malls and
capacity building in cooperatives. I think I talked about it. I said we do have a mobile clinic under the cooperative college here in Bowlen. Okay. And we've given them enough funds as government. And they've developed a mobile clinic, and they've bought vehicles now. So the cooperatives who are in need of capacity building, they can, write to either the ministry so that we can direct them to the cooperative for them to get some capacity building programs. Okay. So that they must understand how to run a business. For example, you've talked about small-scale farmers. Small-scale farmer is critical. Yes. I told you that we have the cooperative officers in each and every district. We've got 116 districts. And in this 116 districts, we have cooperative officers.
Perfect. Okay.
Who are now helping the cooperatives, to have capacity, to understand how to run a venture, how to run a business in any sector. So these entrepreneurship officers, cooperative officers, they working with the cooperative college, they identify the cooperative the potential, and they help them for their capacity to be built.
Okay.
And then they venture into such businesses. Mwila, you must understand that we are just growing the economy now.
Yes.
And there are a number of parameters, a number of factors that we need to put together as government for our people to appreciate the entrepreneurship. In cooperatives, that's an entrepreneurship. Whether they are SMEs into supply, into contracts or anything they are doing, there is need for them to undergo some capacity building. They must understand how to run a business.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a build-up, and we're doing it. And so far, we having very good examples.
Okay.
Some cooperatives are doing quite well. Perfect. And I'll give examples. I visited one young man who is into tomato production, just in Chongwe there. You go there, he's a young man who worked for someone, then he stopped. And he went into, running a business. It's just a single, entity business. Yeah, it's not a cooperative. But he's employed over 100.
Okay, that's good.
Those are success stories.
Okay.
And when we came into office, and when I was appointed Minister for SME, he was among the people I visited, and I encouraged him. And we tried to build capacity. He's doing quite well. Is it 2-3 weeks ago, I was in Ichongwe to see what they are doing. He's now bringing other, even cooperatives now, he's now giving them capacity, how to run businesses.
All right, perfect. Okay, we're just behind time, but maybe I can quickly just ask these two questions, Honorable. You spoke about reaching out and to the 116 districts, and also spoke about being a vast ministry, and the scope is quite wide, and you look at a lot of sectors. How are you managing to actually look into different sectors, and giving them the attention? Let's say maybe to agriculture, let's say maybe to agro processing. How is the ministry trying to fairly spread this attention to all these sectors?
So basically, that's why it's called small and medium.
Okay.
So this is, all sectors. And that's why we do have those departments. And this department, they've got their own mandates to take care of, different sectors. For example, we are targeting now, as a ministry, we are targeting our farmers in this country. Small-scale farmers. We are not targeting the commercial farmers, because those now, they've graduated from the SME sector. So we are targeting the SMEs who are into agriculture. And this is very important, because you've asked this question.
Yes.
Our minds have shifted. Not that we are neglecting other sectors. Yes. They come in, but our focus now is agriculture production as a ministry.
Okay.
A month ago, or rather some few weeks ago, we entered into an agreement, or rather guidelines of the Caliph Fund that will be coming in the country from the United Arab Emirates. It's coming in, and the guideline, even from where government has gotten that concessional loan, is targeting SMEs in agriculture. So, why have we picked agriculture? I'll answer your question. Agriculture is key to this economy. The production of our staple food, which is maize, has gone down. And as government, even through the Minister of Finance and His Excellency the President, the focus now is to get into maize production, which is our staple food. We are mopping up resources. Even in my ministry, the $12 million which will be coming in this season, we want to go into agricultural activities to produce. That's just number one. And when I told you there is SME department, there is a business development department. There is also cooperative. The cooperatives, as you are saying, We do have cooperative in agriculture. We do have cooperatives in tourism, in mining, and also in for example, the circles. This is now into finance. These are cooperatives. So because we are cross-cutting ministry, it's easier for us. Whoever comes, whatever sector is comes in, because we understand business as a ministry. So we will guide them. We will help them how to run such a business.
Okay.
Business is business. Whether you are into lodges, which is tourism, whether you are into mining, we need to give you, the entrepreneur mind. How do you have to run your business? So it's easy.
Okay. So a viewer just sent me a message. Is actually talking about when it comes to cost of business. Maybe as we are winding up with the program, the cost of business. How is the ministry helping in reducing the cost of doing business for SMEs, especially when it comes to tax, interest? Obviously, we know there's so much pressure on the CEC funds and the CDF. But how is the ministry coming through to actually expand this financing platform? Obviously, to help SMEs be able to access finance, and also just in terms of taxing.
Oh, okay. Maybe let's talk about how we're helping SMEs, to grow their businesses. That's why the interest is so low. The cost of doing business in Zambia, it's quite high.
Yes.
Because of the commercial banks' lending rates. They are quite high for SME to walk into a commercial bank and borrow, even 50,000. But when we came into office as New Dawn UPND government, we have gone to commercial banks and we chatted with them. And now they have started lowering their interest rates. Though it's not as expected, but at least we can see they are responding. Almost every commercial bank, Zanaco, APSA, Indobank, these other commercial banks, they've now started developing products to suit the SME sector. So, which is good. This is because it's the engagement the ministry is having with the commercial banks.
Okay.
That's one deliberate move to try and lower, of doing what? Businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we also, like in this case, if there's no capacity building, it's very difficult for them to engage in doing businesses. We are also giving those skills.
Okay.
So we are there, regulations in terms of the policy which is actually coming now. It is also tackling some of the ways of lowering, of doing businesses. But you talked about taxes.
Okay.
Taxes sit under the Ministry of Finance. Now, the Ministry of SME, when we collaborate, chat with our SMEs, they will come to us and talk to us and say, we cannot run our own businesses because of that tax. Then now, as a ministry, now we get to the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
And we lobby for them.
That's great. That's Honorable Minister SME. Just highlighting the successes that they've actually done, and also what they're planning to do, just to empower the SMEs out there. But just as we are closing the program, just maybe in a minute, what final ways do you have for viewers out there?
I want to tell our citizens, and especially the SMEs, our SME sector, this is the engine to grow this economy. But one thing you must understand very, very quickly is that because of the emphasis of SME sector in this country, we've seen a huge number of entrepreneurs, SMEs, applying to Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. We are sitting at 30 billion worth of applications. And the Minister of Finance allocates something like 390 million to this sector. So you hear, other SMEs, they are saying we can't have access to finance, which is a major problem. But for me, this is good, because then I'm saying the Zambian people wants to work for themselves. So I need to jack up and have, my platforms has to be extended, and then go into resource mobilization, resource more funds so that we can be able to meet the viable project, not any other project.
Okay.
And not any other project, you know what I mean? When I said 30 billion, these are just worth of applications. But maybe we do have 5 to 10 billion viable project.
Okay.
And if you throw in 5 or 10 billion into these viable project, you create jobs.
Perfect.
Wealth will be created amongst our people. And we are here as a ministry to see what we can do. Mobilize the resources, but this time we've started mobilizing resources. Those who are into agricultural sector, they'll benefit from what government has mobilized.
Thank you so much, Honorable. We are very proud of you coming and giving us this insight, and we hope best for the ministry for the years to come.
Thank you, Mwina.
Thank you, viewers. Thank you, viewers, for actually tuning in. And next, we have actually gotten your messages, and we'll actually share with the ministry and send out the answers shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay.